Okay, thank you, ladies, for that very introspective piece. I know the piece was talking about the failure of introspection. So, that's what I have to ask. First of all, Mr. Quaba, the Ernest, the founder of Venza Dance. And yeah, man, that was lovely. Um, it is begging the question, at least from my perspective, the failures of introspection. I saw introspection for certainly the first 10 minutes of that, if not 15. And I just want to know, when did it fail? But before we do that, um, Brother Jeremy, please feel free to get ready for the final performance. And if you need some hands, let us know. Okay, cool. So talk to us, man, really briefly about that piece in particular and the introspection and when and if it failed.
Well, the introspection did not fail just now, but I recently have been home with a knee surgery that has me out for not dancing for the remainder of the year. So I've had a lot of time at home to think and look inside of myself. And in that, I've seen where it's gone wrong, the growth that I'm experiencing, and the times where I get trapped in my own head and I fail. So in a little bit of that, you see the highs and lows of looking inside of yourself and the duration that takes, and the joy and the sadness and the patience of it all. Yeah.
So it may have been called just as easily the fruit of introspection.
Or the journey. Or the journey of introspection.
Okay. So tell us about your work, man. What is it that you try to accomplish in your choreography? Is there a thread that runs through it, or no?
I definitely would say there's no thread that runs through piece to piece. I try to make everything reflective of where I'm at the moment, and right now it's a lot of sitting at home and thinking, which led us to this. And I don't know what it will lead to next. Are we in the way here? Yep, I think that's.
Okay, and tell us a little bit more about your personal dance journey. I know that you started off at the Dance Theater of Harlem, correct? And you ended up at SUNY Purchase, that dance powerhouse of a place.
Well, I grew up at Dance Theater of Harlem from the time I was 3 years old, about. So I spent my whole life there. And then at 14, I went to the School of American Ballet and LaGuardia Performing Arts High School. And then I ended up at SUNY Purchase, where I had a lovely teacher, Stephanie Tuman, she's out here, and amongst many other great teachers. And later, I moved to Canada to dance briefly with a company called Ballet BC. And I moved back to New York, dancing with a guy named Doug Verone, which I loved until I ended up at this knee surgery in February. And I'm realizing things press forward in different ways, and I'm trying to apply that into what I'm creating.
And is dance I know it's the primary medium that you work with. Are there other things? Because I saw that you worked with some of the music for this piece.
I do some music editing and production. I also play a little guitar and bass. And I think where things are heading is I would like to produce all the music myself eventually at one point, just haven't made it there yet. So taking steps by editing other people's stuff together till I get to.
And I think I saw you spent some time up at Jacob's Pillow. Is that right? Or
I went to the school there many years back, and later returned to be a part of a small project for Ted Shawn called The Dance of Ages, which was a restaging of a piece from the 1940s. And I recently was the Ann and Weston Hicks Choreography Fellow in August when Making Moves Festival happened last year next door.
and tell us a little bit more about Jacob's Pillow in particular.
What exactly about? What?
So if you've heard of Jacob's Pillow, raise your hand. Okay, so for these folks who've never heard of it,
I guess to do it justice, I would say Jacob's Pillow contains majority of the history of dance, if not all of it. Almost every company has been through the Pillow and is recorded in their archives. and they're really great about keeping their network expansive. And what else can I say about the Pillow? If you haven't been there, maybe this summer take a trip out to Beckett, Massachusetts and see a performance. Maybe you'll catch us out there one day.
I've been once, and it's a dance sanctuary, is how I would describe it. And there are all kinds of people who come and perform there. There's a school there. There are workshops there.
The archives as well, where they have the recorded history of all the previous companies to check out. And they do a great job of diversifying what you see on stage and letting the audience, which is specific in Massachusetts, see art from all over the world.
It is a pretty fantastic place. So if you get a chance, I put it up there with what's my place for opera in Massachusetts as well. In Cooperstown, somebody help me out. Maybe not. Okay, and tell us finally just about, you went to LaGuardia, correct? Yeah, and what was that experience like?
I actually started out at Brooklyn High School of the Arts, which, a great home, can't forget that place. And then I later went to LaGuardia High School with two of the dancers in this work, Dave Oweska and Dorshell Hawk. And I made some lifetime connections. As you see, they're still dancing with me 10 years past high school. And the teachers there have helped me through this time of recovery as well. I'll actually be there next week working on something with a choreographer friend of mine. Yeah.
And finally, talk a little bit about your SUNY Purchase experience. I mean, I know, okay, how many people know that SUNY Purchase is a dance powerhouse, probably one of the most renowned schools of dance in the country, if not the world?
Well, I'll start by saying all the dancers you just saw are from SUNY Purchase, and I personally think they're phenomenal, so that's to start. I would say SUNY Purchase was probably the most vital part of my training. Along with the teachers, I think I learned an astronomical amount from the 60 peers that I had in my class. Every day watching them, pulling things I loved from them. The teacher can't always comment and give feedback to 60 people, so everyone becomes your teacher in the room. And I spent 4 years stepping away from the ballet that I grew up with and trying Graham, Lamone, Gaga, a slew of other things that led me to what I'm trying to create now. Yeah.
All right, anything else you think you want to share, man, with this audience right here? Are you good, or?
Just a thank you. Thank you for everyone to bear witness for all that they've just shared. Soak it up, and some great stuff is coming.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.